There
But
are...
I mean, we know that sound and frequency and all that does play a role. It can be damaging and makes you wonder, is modern music killing us? All right, round 2.
Yeah, are you ready?
Sure.
You're all queued up over there?
Yeah, well, I don't start the timer on this one
Okay.
until after you give us the question.
Okay, well, this one, because the first one was a little heavy, I went a little bit softer. And this one actually plays probably more into Michael's background than yours, Dan, but I know you'll have opinions because you have opinions on everything. So, there's a long-running debate in music and wellness circles about whether modern tuning, standardized at 440 hertz, is natural, or whether an alternative 432 hertz tuning produces a more harmonious or calming effect. So tonight we're going to explore where music theory, science, and belief intersects. We're not trying to debunk or endorse anything. We're just talking about music theory, science, and cultural beliefs.
So 440 versus 442?
440 versus 432.
432. Okay.
I can give you more background if you need it, Dan.
No, I've actually read stuff on this. That having been said, you're absolutely right. This is much more of a Michael topic than a me topic, because I'm still a learning. For those of you who don't know, on my 50th birthday a few years back, I said I want to learn an instrument, and we got a guitar, and I've been working on it, but I still really suck at it. But that's okay. But I have heard the 440 versus 432 debate, but I'm going to default to the master. So kick us off, Michael.
Oh, well, the master not being here, I suppose I'll just chime in because to me, I don't know what a natural tone is even. I mean, I've heard this debate forever. To me, this is like, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer on this one. This isn't, to me, if it just, I hate to break it down so simplistically, but to me, if it sounds good, then it's good. I mean, I don't know if there is a natural tone. That said, I know that whenever they have, any auto tune and any instrument by default, any digital instrument is set to 440 hertz, which I know we're getting in the weeds of like technical geekdom, but somebody just decided that was the standard, and so that became the standard, I think.
It became the standard because a long time ago, different orchestras and different groups would tune differently.
Right.
And so when there was any collaborations or any group events, it became an obstacle. So yeah, there was a standardization that actually took effect, and a government type entity came in and said, this is what we're doing, and everybody has to follow it.
But a lot of bands, they'll play their songs, they'll slightly detune, and they'll there's always people that like to kind of stray from that. And so it's I don't know. I see it as one of those things where I get why there's some standard in place, but I'm kind of glad that music is such a creative expression. It's such an artistic thing that I'm glad that we have so many people that are willing to stray from this standard, because last week on this show, we talked about the homogenization of everything. And one thing we talked about was music. And, the music biz has had that problem. But one thing that definitely keeps it alive is for everybody to be able to change things up and to be able to do things differently. And, if you want to... you want to detune, by 1/12 of a semitone, you can do that. I mean, I think that's what keeps keeps the juices flowing, and it makes everything sound a little different. Like there's like when I listen to some Foreigner songs, or I listen to some, there's songs that are just slightly detuned, and it sounds a little different than everything else. Layla is like the piano is slightly lower than that. It's off by about not even half a step. It's about, like -10 or something. Anyway, it's just barely, but it's what adds a slightly dynamic feel to things. I don't know. It's an ineffable quality. It's hard for me it's almost like describe the color red. You really can't. That's kind of my thoughts on all of it.
Okay. While you guys were talking, I looked up, because I don't think we have rules against Googling.
No.
So I Googled real quick because I was trying to remember where I had seen this before. And there's actually conspiracy theories around 440
Yes.
hertz.
That's why I have all sorts of.
Yeah, so that is where I have seen this. So there is a belief out there that 432 is natural, 440 is not. So there's a belief that it's weaponized, the idea of causing negative emotions, chaos in your brain, aggression, anxiety.
Yep.
And some people believe that it dates back to our German friends from the 40s and 30s, and them using it to start with to kind of gin up some chaotic energy. So that's interesting, and I'm not saying that it's true or false or anything like that, because I'm not qualified to say it. But and it's probably just people connecting random dots, but it is interesting that all the music is 440 now. Well, at least not all of it, but a lot of it. But then you look at the problems that we have as a society with behavioral issues and anxiety and depression and aggression and all of the things. I don't know. I mean, we know that sound and frequency and all that does play a role. It can be damaging and makes you wonder, is modern music killing us? I don't know.
But the thing about that is that that 440, I mean, that's if you're listening to it on a perfectly preserved recording. Back in my day, we used to have this thing called the radio. It was this industry. There was this device that you had in your home or in your car. And I'm not even talking like a satellite or an MP3 player or CDs or just your iPhone or your tablet or whatever. But, actual signals being sent out through the air, and you tuned it in on your radio and you listened to it. Anyway, radio stations would notoriously pitch their songs. They would change the pitch, +1, +2. They'd take it up, one semitone to whatever. And the reason they did that was because radio program directors are stupid. That's probably part of it. And they all want to put their own stamp on things, but also because they could fit more songs in an hour by doing that. So that changed the way a song sounded. So ultimately, I don't think it really, the debate is kind of, at least for our generation, was a little bit muted because of that, because of how, radio and how we consumed music back then. And nowadays, who knows? Everybody's changing stuff up so much that I don't know if there's a consistent sound as much as there used to be. But I don't know. I've heard a lot of the conspiracy theories too, but I like a lot of them. I don't know how much I would put stock into that.
Well, and I don't either. I was trying to remember where I had heard the 432 versus 440 before, and I was pretty sure it was not in my music lessons, and it wasn't. It was in the conspiracy theory angle.
There are people that claim 432 resonates with the body. It promotes calm. It has restorative effects. There are also some people, it's Schumann's resonance theory, they claim that 432 is harmonically aligned with our planet, and thus it is better for us as a species
Maybe I
because
should, maybe I should change my
there's
voice
a
right now to
resonance
432. Hold on, let me.
there's a resonance to everything.
Yeah.
A lot of it we can't hear naturally, but there is a resonance to everything. But that's where some of the speculation comes in, with things like binaural beats or singing bowls or things that don't inherently follow the 440 rule. And some people find them much more calming. So, I don't know. Do you guys think there's anything to that, or do you just think it's all hype? Or
No, I think there's probably something to that.
There may be.
You know, frequencies and waves and stuff, they all affect us. You know, one of the things that's been speculated and studied, though nothing conclusive, is that they have lower risks and lower rates of cancer in your torso area in Japan, but they don't use the quote-unquote traditional mattresses there with all the springs and all of that. But here in the U.S. we do, and it just turns out that in a lot of cases those mattresses are just big antennas for radio waves.
yeah.
So the question becomes, is this something that and we're as a species, it's more common for us to sleep on our right side. And if you get a cancer in your torso area, it is more common for it to be on your right side.
Correct.
There's just a lot of weird connections to things like that. So I don't know. Could there be something to it?
That is
Maybe.
interesting.
Michael, are you in 432 now?
I am in 432 now.
I can hear a slight difference.
There's a slight. Well, I had to do a little auto tune for it. So,
Okay.
so yeah. Now I'm. It's very weird sounding. So I don't know if it's in perfect harmony with the earth.
Well, the earth is weird, so it just might be.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting good
does
feedback in the chat. Ashley says she likes it, so maybe it should stay that way.
Maybe it should stay this way. It sounds weird to me, but if you guys think it sounds fine, then
there's a slight radio quality to it now.
Oh, well, that's very interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't. I had to go in and make a whole make an adjustment. I had to turn on I actually had to put in this in Pro Tools, but I was able to set it up. So there you go. I don't know. It sounds strange to me, but maybe it's because you're used to the 440 sound.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
So Michael kind of hinted at this with the standardization. It has the potential to limit creativity, in my opinion. But when we start getting so many standardizations of things like this that some people might not even be aware of, why do you think it it attracts so many conspiracy theories and whatnot?
Because that's what we're wired for.
Yeah. Anytime there's something we don't understand, we just have to turn it into a conspiracy.
Well, one of the things we talked about on the last episode, as I recall, is trust.
Yeah.
And how I think,
Yeah.
Michael, you and I pretty much agreed that the concept of being able to have any trust in the authorities above us is pretty much gone now.
Yes.
And I don't think it really matters what side it's coming from, what agency it's coming from, any of it. So, I mean, if all of a sudden the Department of Musical Affairs says we're all going to do 440 now, it's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
You know, I could see where that would bring up conspiracy theories, especially when if 432 is supposed to be more quote unquote natural, then why did they settle on 440? You know, why not settle on the thing that's supposedly more balanced with the earth and better for our ears and all this kind of stuff? It's, you know, that would be the questions I would ask.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't surprise me a bit, but we're conditioned for that because the powers that be around us have conditioned us for that. And, does it surprise me that it's bled into music and music theory and all that? Not a bit, because it's bled into everything else.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah, that's what we like to do. We like to, we like to, because there's a lot of people that just don't like, I think part of the reason conspiracy theories exist too is because people just don't want to accept a simple explanation for things. They want to make everything out to be something bigger than what it is. And very, very rarely is that true. I talked about Occam's razor last time. Simplest explanation is usually the correct one. And for a lot of people, they want to be the person that cracks a code that doesn't exist. And so they'll come up with all these ideas that, that just, and then it makes you sound nuts. But they'll link things, that aren't there. But, other people will buy into it too, because everybody wants to be special. We were talking about this kind of before the show. Everybody has to have some different perspective on everything. And, it's not enough just to have your own kind of viewpoint that sort of aligns with other people. It's like, I have to be different. So that's why we have all the conspiracies, and that's why. But also, I think that's why some people are like, well, I'm not recording in 440. I'm not recording in standard tuning. I'm not going to play my guitar right. I'm going to play in drop D. I'm going to play in, I'm going to detune by -7 or whatever. I'm going to do it my way. And I don't know. People are weird. That's the bottom line, I think, to this entire situation.
People are weird. Beth, you might have mentioned this. I don't know, but did you say when 440 became the standard? Do we know that?
I don't have the date in my notes, but I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, could you? I'm just curious how it aligns with the rise of conspiracy theories, the rise of big government, the rise of, big music, all the bigs. It's a curiosity of mine because it might help frame this a little bit.
The year was 1956.
It was
Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the official Music 440 Act of 1956, which therefore made all music required to be recorded at 440 hertz. Anyone found not to be doing so would be tried for treason and hanged in the town square.
Thank you, Michael.
It was
it's
first
also clear now.
proposed in 1834, but it wasn't until the 20th century when it was accepted as the international standard. And what year for that, I'm trying to find out.
So back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
They understood music that well back then?
Apparently.
They understood music frequencies. Like they knew what I would find that hard to. I mean, I know they knew notes and tuning and all of this. Sure, but
yeah, that's where I'm.
The American Standards Association recommended that A above middle C be tuned to 440 hertz in 1936.
1936.
So that we had nothing better going on during the Great Depression than to figure out how to.
It was an informal standard in 1930 or in 1926. So then it.
Oh, 1926.
It took 10 years for it to become an actual manufacturing standard.
Yeah.
For people.
So I was wrong. Wasn't Dwight D. Eisenhower?
Calvin Coolidge told America, time to tune to 440. Do your patriotic duty. Why did everyone talk like this back in the 20s and 30s? I don't know, but that's how we talked. That was another standard that we had to have for broadcasting back then. Yes, from the first radio station all the way up till 1975, people had to talk like this. And if you didn't, well, you'd be tried for treason and hanged in the town square.
Or exhumed and
or exhumed and hanged post-mortem. Wouldn't it
So
be a
do
lot
you
more
get-
interesting if the Mike and Dan show were done like this? Mike is talking like this, and Dan is in the 21st century, and I'm back here in the early part of the 20th century. Yes, of course, that's how it be.
Oh,
Take a donut
there's
sandwich, please.
There's so many good shorts that are going to be cut out of
Yes.
this one.
So do you guys think there's anything to the fact that different resonances could be healing?
Yes.
It's all hogwash, I tell you. It's all firecrackers.
Oh, sorry. I get stuck
disagree.
in that mode, and it's like another character on this show.
21st century, Michael. No, it can be healing because it can also be destructive. I mean,
Sure.
we talked about it the other day. Sound waves used to break up kidney stones, for example.
Yep.
So
Certain colors are used for different eye conditions, for example. We use different light waves and sound waves for various things. It can all be done therapeutic, and it can also be done to harm. I don't know if really the difference between 440 and 432 is really this Armageddon. It's the ruination of society that some say it is, but I can see how obviously there's clearly a difference, but probably for the average person, you're not going to know.
Well,
I
will
don't
tell
think
you
so.
that in the chat they noticed the difference when you flipped. They said you sounded calmer. They liked the sound. So yeah, it was noticeable. I mean, I don't know what all
So
you
maybe
did,
there
but
is something to that whole.
Maybe I should do
end of it.
432 ASMR.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be the perfect combination. That might be something. All right. Well, that was interesting, Beth. I don't know exactly what I learned, but I feel like I learned something. But I don't know what.
If you learned anything today on the Mike and Dan show, you learned something.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Unlike in the sidebar where you guys usually end by saying, "I don't know what we actually."
We
figured out
solve
or
nothing on
accomplished."
sidebar.
Yeah.
The point of the show is to solve nothing, except that one time where we solved something, but then we just decided we don't want to ever do that again.
No.
So the point
I
here is
privated
just
that
to learn
episode.
something. Doesn't matter what, just something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even have to know what you learned.
Exactly.
Because I'm not sure what I learned, but it was a good discussion.
It's all
It was fun.
bollocks, I tell you. It's all firecrackers, bollocks, nonsense. Poppycock.
Hey, thanks for watching. In the Blind is a news show for Mike and me, and we'd really love it if you could hit the subscribe button, do a thumbs up, leave a comment. All of those things really help this channel get found by other people, so we'd really appreciate the support. Thanks so much.